Mohammed, let's talk about your journey, right? Your journey. When when I reached out to you, even before that, I've been following you, and I'm a great admirer of your work. And I honestly feel that your work is very, very inspiring, especially when I read about your story where you came to Canada with only $1,200 or something in your pocket, right? And you were living in a shared basement and working late hours at a jewelry store, despite having a master's degree in gemology and geology, right? And you even worked at coffee time to make your ends meet. And what was really very interesting was that, that turning point in your story where one day you go out to buy baklava or something at a small bakery called Paramount. And then from that day onwards, things really changed for you. So tell us a little bit about that particular day. What happened that day? How did you end up where you are and from where you started?
Well, thank you very much for the question. Like you said, I came here with nothing, lived in a shared basement apartment, had to work at a coffee shop because people won't give me a job.
Yeah.
They said I didn't have Canadian experience. And that's why as soon as I start seeing some success in my life, I committed that I will make that experience easier on people that just arrived to our country, because we should not believe that international experiences are less worthy than ours. And we truly should all believe and advocate for diversity is our strength, and diverse experiences makes our company stronger, better, and brings us more diverse ideas,
Mm-hmm.
initiatives, and clientele. Some
Yeah.
of the refugees that we hired has brought us franchisees
Yeah.
because they have worked for them, and then they bought into our system and our Paramount, what I call it, movement. I
Yeah.
call Paramount not a company, I call it a Paramount movement. And when I hire people, I say, welcome to the Paramount movement, because it's a movement of changing the way the world looked at the food and the Middle Eastern and the halal industry on one
Yeah.
side. On the other side, the way the world looked at immigrant in general,
Mm.
right? And I wanted to send a strong message that, yeah, we come here with $1,200 in our pocket, but we come here to build, to hire, to get a better life for ourselves. And while we do that, we change a lot of other people's life
Yeah.
on the way. And that's very important. So I walked into Paramount and this man approached me and I said, I want kilo baklava. And that was $20. And he said, I saw your picture that you renovated a house and you did very well, good profit. Would you lend me $250,000? And I'm like, I don't know you. Why would I lend you money? And I'm here only for $20 baklava. And he goes, no, I understand, but if you don't, me and 15 other chefs will have to be deported and will have to bankrupt by Thursday.
Oh, wow.
And this is when I start looking at it in a serious way. And I said, okay, that's fine, but I'm only here to buy baklava and I still don't know you. But why don't I give you my card and
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it? It's one of those situations where it's thrown at you. You don't know why it happened. Us believers, that things happen for a reason, and what goes around comes around. You always believe that,
Yeah.
you know, what did just happen out of nowhere? And
Yeah.
my wife asked me out of nowhere to go to that place. Didn't know that place. So I left the place with my kilo baklava, and I called my wife and said, you almost costed me $250,000 here. And and I didn't have that money at the time. I didn't have that $250,000. And I got into the car and something hit me right there.
Mm.
And I always tell everyone, and I'm telling you all now listening to this, you need to decide now who you are, who
Yeah.
you want to be, what kind of person you're going to be. Are you going to be a stand-up person, or just a person that actually keep their head down and go through life?
Yeah.
Are you going to really want to make a real difference, a difference that changes lives? Or are you going to be that person that just say, as long as I'm okay, who cares about my neighbors? Who cares about my community? And you need to decide now,
Mm.
because the opportunity of making a difference usually comes as a surprise.
Yeah.
So you need to be prepared who you want to be today. You need to ask yourself that question, and that opportunity will come.
Yeah.
And when you decide, to be that person that you're going to make a difference, then you'll decide which way you're going to go, and you'll sense the fact that this is one of the opportunity where I can make a difference. So as soon as I got to the car, it hit me, and I just said, this man has done a good job taking a chance, following his dreams and trying to open a real good business, and has employed people, changed people's life.
Yeah.
but he needed some, leadership, some maybe suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
and to make sure that he's looked after in a way, and his business the same way. And he needed some maybe capital, but most importantly, he had brought a capital and spent it, so he didn't know Canada and the way to run a business in this country. But what am I going to do? I'm going to let them down, or I'm going to do what other people did to me when I came to Canada. And
Right.
people had helped me when I came here. People had given me chance to buy a business, open a business, partner on a business, even accepted me to be partner with the sweat equity, put my work in for partnership.
Right.
So this is when I decided that, no, I want to listen to the story. I want to talk to the person more.
Yeah.
So I called him and I said, look, I just want to know more. So to make a story short, he came in and I lended him the money. I offered him payment plan. The payment plan was for me because I didn't have the money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'll give you this much and this much and this much. But as soon as I gave him the money, Revenue Canada froze his account because he had owed a lot of taxes. So he came to me and said, look, I understand you still owe me some money from what you said you're going to lend me, but I want to go back to Dubai.
Oh.
And it's up to you what you do with the business. So I went to see him and I saw the chefs. They're all, literally, some of them were crying and they're saying that,
Wow.
we're going to be deported because our visas depending on the business. This is when I realized I wasn't into a kilo baklava. And that was something to do with, or meant to be, destiny, So I said to them, look, I don't know how to fry an egg, but I know that we all come together around food. And the best way to represent the culture is with the food and breaking bread with people to get to know them.
Right.
And quite honestly, Omer, I actually still believe it till today. I think we can resolve the world problem by breaking bread together, by having a meal with people from different color, different background, and we get to know that we're much more alike than what we are different.
So
and
true.
that's what I did. And so it was a strong message to send out there that no, immigrants do not come here just to live on welfare, and we come here to build.
Yeah.
And halal food is not dirty food; it's the cleanest food ever. And that we can all come together in a global agreement of sharing a bread and breaking bread together and trying each other's food and listening to each other's story while we're eating together. And hopefully we all realize what Margaret Mead was so true. What she said is that we are more alike than we are different. But unfortunately, we more focus on why we're different than why we're alike on 95%. And it started that way. Decorated the restaurant because I'm from the jewelry business, so everything had to look nice. And I wanted to change the way people look at the Middle Eastern food. Because you go to Dubai, you go to Lebanon, their hospitality is great, it's forward. And here I used to see shawarma places opened by people who just arrived, didn't have money, not paying attention to quality standards, and still they had business. So I changed that, and I'm hoping that I put some marks into the way the minority food and immigrant food and different ethnic food is presented now.
Absolutely.
Because for people to compete with Paramount, they had to decorate, they had to design their stores now, and they had to maintain a cleaner store. And you know what? I hope I was part of that change. And look, that was in 2007. Today, with around 80 locations worldwide, 3 brands, and the 4th one on the way as well.
Right.
And that's all done by one word: